Welcome, everybody. This is another state series by the Academy of Adoption and Reproduction Attorneys. Today, this video will introduce you to our art fellows within the state of Georgia. And honestly, you're going to enjoy them. Let's see. Let's introduce you first to Lila.
Hi, I'm Lila Bradley. I've been practicing law in Georgia after graduating from the University of Georgia for quite a number of years, and started out as a business lawyer, found my way into child welfare law, and then finally into the law of family building through assisted reproduction.
And Lynn.
Sure. Hi, I'm Lynn Goldman, and I've been practicing law for about 24 years, and specifically art law for about 8 years. I practice with Lila Bradley.
And Lori.
Well, I don't know if I should say it or not, but they practice in my old firm. So we are very tight, the three of us. My name is Lori Surmay. The three of us are here in Atlanta. I practice all over the state. I think the other two do as well. I have practiced exclusively in arts and adoption since 1998 and have been a fellow in the Academy since 2001. Let's see, I also am a past president of the LGBT Bar Association for the entire state of Georgia. So I know that all three of us on this call are used to working with all types of families, single, gay, straight, married in any number of ways. So let's dive into it because it's an exciting area of law to practice in.
So in doing that, state of Georgia, is it a friendly state for reproductive law? Unfriendly? Scare people off? Invite them in? Which one is it?
Invite. I think it's very friendly. And one of the reasons is because we have very few statutes regarding reproductive law. And so as long as you are working with one of us or a couple other lawyers that practice in this area, there are very few of us, you'll be in good hands. But without that guidance, wouldn't the two of you agree? It can be kind of scary because of the lack of a statutory frame.
Yes. I think that's true. And I think while we do have a friendly and welcoming state for all families, we also have a judiciary that is cautious. And I actually think that's a good thing, because we're talking about families and parents and rights and responsibilities and children and what is in the best interest of our children. And so what we are able to do is go to our judges and show them how it is in the best interest of these children to have secure families, and how the security can be derived from our own law. But it's a new way of looking at that law.
Yeah. And we're also seeing that judges, they want those rights declared. So it's very clear moving forward who are the parents. And it also lets our hospitals and our vital records know who to look to put on that birth certificate and who to make those medical decisions in the hospital for the baby.
So for the public,
Kim, one of the very important things is the ability to obtain a pre-birth order of parentage here in Georgia. Lila's absolutely right, and the judiciary is very good here as a general rule, but not all states will allow that. And I think it's one of the check marks, and I'd love to know y'all's opinions. I think it really helps put Georgia kind of at the top of the rung, at least in the Southeast, along with having 4 really world-class reproductive endocrinology groups here in the Atlanta area, and then some on the southern coast. So I'd say not only is it friendly, it's advantageous in other ways to consider practicing this type of law in Georgia.
Right. And in Georgia, you know, on the reproductive front, like Lori said, we are the reproductive hub for the Southeast. Having all of our, you know, the clinics that we do, and having Emory and the university hospital and system, it really puts us on the map in the Southeast.
so for certain groups of people, LGBTQ community, or maybe couples who are not genetically related to their embryos? Are there things for, top tips you can say? Because obviously a lot of people flush through the states trying to figure out which state can I be in and not be in. What should they know about that?
I think the key, at the risk of sounding like we're selling our services, we're here to help. But people who are making plans for families should consult with an attorney at the beginning of their journey, because we can help them understand where their vulnerabilities are and how to mitigate the risk by having the proper documentation of their intent, their agreements with each other and with the donors, if there is donor sperm or donor egg or donor embryo involved. It's very much about the proper documentation, because that's what we're bringing to the court when we ask the court to confirm the parental rights.
Mhm. I think in addition to that, I love the way Lila put that. It's really critical for patients of doctors, but clients for lawyers, to understand why both pieces are necessary. Our clients are working so hard and spending so much money trying to get pregnant, trying to achieve a viable pregnancy, trying to have a child that they can then raise, that occasionally will, I think, run into some frustration. Well, why on earth do we need all this legal stuff when the physicians have already had us sign X, Y, and Z? And so I like the way Lila put it. It's really to protect, not just to get you to the end goal, but to protect you along the way and to get you to that end goal, that this is your child legally as well as medically. And especially, Kim, you mentioned gamete donation. It's really critical that we tie up those pieces. Just because you can do something medically doesn't mean that in the eyes of the law, you've dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's to make sure that your rights to that child are intact and transferable, for example, because a lot of people move state to state these days. We don't want you just to have something you rely on in one state. You really got to firm everything up. And I think that's why the three of us do the type of work we do. To help with that is extremely satisfying when it's done right.
And as to uplift the value of our Academy membership, is that we have colleagues all around this country and the world who practice this kind of law. And so when a client comes to us and says, well, I live in this state, my surrogate's in Georgia, what do? I can pick up the phone and call a lawyer in that state that I know and have a relationship with to talk about that. When my clients who were here in Georgia, did their assisted reproduction, have this beautiful baby, and then they got transferred and they're moving to another state and they're scared and they want to know, how's the law in that state? I can pick up the phone and send an email or do a text to get that lawyer in the other state through the Academy to get answers for my clients.
Lynn, can you answer real quick for me before we end this video? I know a lot of people fish through different states thinking, okay, how fast can I get a birth certificate? How painful is the procedures? Can you give us just a quick glimpse for your state on that?
Sure. So for birth certificates, we're pretty quick as far as Georgia. I know there's some other states that we're experiencing 5 and 6 month waits, but we're typically seeing anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks to get a birth certificate. So once that baby is born, then that's a pretty quick birth certificate that we're going to get. And if we need to make changes to it, such as if, parties are listed by their wrong headings, such as say mother, father, if we want to put parent, that's something that we can get done in our state as well.
Oh, that was good information. I'm glad I asked that final. You all covered the state very well. So what I'm hearing though is that people need to contact one of you, really talk about their specific scenario and their specific facts so they can get the information they need for the state of Georgia. So if you would like to speak to one of these fellows, please go to the Academy's website. On that website, we have a map, and you can pick on Georgia, or you can pick the other states and see their videos, but you can get their contact information there as well. The website for the Academy is adoptionart.org. Again, that is adoptionart.org. And please contact one of them today to get more information. And I really appreciate you taking the time today to educate the public on the state of Georgia.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Having us.
Thank you.